Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Bond with Bio. We had already started with the lesson Introduction to Biology and already went through the subtopics like history about classification of living organisms, and also we have studied the kingdom Monera a bit in details. So today we will focus on completing this chapter. So let us move on to the first topic for today, which is Kingdom Protista. All single-cell eukaryotes are placed under Protista, but the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. This is the very first eukaryote found on Earth, and thus, being eukaryotes, the protestant cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Some also have flagella and cilia for movement purpose. Mostly are aquatic in nature. Protists reproduce asexually and sexually by processes involving cell fusion and zygote formation respectively. Many of them are unicellular, or few may even be multicellular. That is, they consist of just a single cell, or it may also consist multiple cells. The cells respire mostly aerobically, that is, in the presence of oxygen, but also in some cases they may respire anaerobically, that is, without the presence of oxygen. Protists may either be phototrophic or heterotrophic. So, they might prepare their own food in presence of sunlight, and again in some cases, they may depend on other substances for the source of food. There are certain classification of protists which we do not need in details, but still I'll introduce them to you. They are chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. All these are classification of kingdom Protista. So let us move on to the kingdom Fungi now. The kingdom Fungi consists of heterotrophic organisms. They show a great variety in morphology and habitat. You must have seen fungi on a moist bread and rotten fruits. So, the cell walls of fungi are composed of chitin and polysaccharides. As already informed earlier, they mostly are heterotrophic and saprophytes, that is, depending on other sources, and they may also be parasitic in nature. They prefer to grow in warm and humid places. And kingdom fungi can be classified into 4 types. We can see it in this image, that is Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and Deuteromycetes. Here, among all these 4, Deuteromycetes are commonly known as imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases of this fungi are known. Still now, the sexual phase is still not known about Deuteromycetes among these 4 types of fungi. So next, let us move on to kingdom Plantae. We very much know about this kingdom. So, kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms commonly called plants. We have been studying this from childhood that green plants consist this green pigment called chlorophyll, which in the presence of sunlight undergoes photosynthesis, that is, the preparation or method of preparing food. They have eukaryotic structures with prominent chloroplasts, and the cell wall mainly is made up of cellulose. The kingdom Plantae can be classified into non-vascular plants and vascular plants, which respectively are again subclassified into liverwort, hornworts, and mosses, and the vascular plants into spore-producing plants, seed-producing plants. We need not go into the details, but I think this illustration in form of an image will give you a bit of the idea of further classification of the plant kingdom. So let me give you some examples of kingdom Plantae. These two examples is a bit unique, that is, the plant Cuscuta is a parasite, and the plants bladderwort and Venus flytraps are examples of insectivorous plants, that is, they feed on insects. So now, let us move on to kingdom Animalia. This kingdom is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and their cell lacks cell walls. This is the main and primary difference between plant cell and animal cell, that is, cell wall which is present in plant cells but is absent in animal cells. They directly or indirectly depend on plants for food. We have also noticed this in our childhood while making the food chains. They digest their food in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. In case of plant cells, the similar thing, that is, the storage of food was in form of starch. In animals, the mode of nutrition is holozoic, that is, by ingestion of food. Animals follow a definite growth pattern and grow into adults and have a definite shape and size. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanisms, and most of them are capable of locomotion, as we have limbs for movement, and other works too. The sexual reproduction of animals is by copulation of male and female, followed by embryological development. So here we have the classification of kingdom Animalia, that is, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates means with a backbone and invertebrate means without backbone. So vertebrates can be classified again into warm-blooded and cold-blooded. We to some extent know who they are, which are included among the warm-blooded and cold-blooded. So now let us see the classification of invertebrates. They are Porifera, Cnidaria, Annelida, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Platyhelminthes, and Arthropoda. Among these, Arthropoda is the largest class. The largest phylum rather. Arthropoda is the largest phylum and has a great diversity, which can further be classified into crustacea, arachnida, insects, myriapoda, etc. Now, we come to this part. Basically, in classification of kingdoms, viruses, viroids, and prions could not be involved in a specific phylum, so we will be studying them separately. Viruses. We already know the very famous COVID-19. It is a type of virus. So let us know what they actually are. Viruses are inert outside their specific host cell. Viruses are obligate parasites and they contain genetic material, that is, either RNA or DNA. Kindly note that no virus can contain both RNA and DNA. It has to be either of the two. Once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replace themselves or replenish themselves, killing the host. The name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky in 1892, who recognized certain microbes as casual organisms of the mosaic disease of tobacco. They were found to be smaller than bacteria because they passed through bacteria-proof filter. So, these RNA or DNA here are basically double-stranded. We know that DNA is double-stranded, but we need to remember that the RNA here is also double-stranded. So now let us move to viroids. T. ordina discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused potato spindle disease. It was found to be a free RNA which lacked the protein coat, which is otherwise found in viruses. So this is the basic difference between viruses and viroids. That is, viroids lacks the protein coat which is present in viruses. The RNA of the viroid was of lower molecular weight. So now, let us move on to prions. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases was found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of abnormally folded proteins. This agent was similar in size to viruses. This agent were called prions. They cause diseases, rather notable diseases like bovine spongiform encephalopathy, which is commonly known as mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogous variant, Sear-Jacob disease, in humans. So here we come to the end of the lesson. I hope all the concepts were clear to you. And if you have any sort of doubts, write down in the comment section and I'll be reaching out to you with the answers. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it yet, and click on the bell icon to get notified about my updates. So see you in the next video. Thank you.